feel like I've lost a second father.
We begin tonight with the death of a civil rights giant in Tennessee. Longtime attorney George Barrett died this evening at the age of 86. Barrett was known as a fierce defender of free speech.
And he worked right up until he went into the hospital 2 weeks ago. News Channel 5's Todd Walker is here with more on his life from someone who worked alongside him for decades.
Yeah, guys, Barrett has been a legal titan in Nashville since the late 1950s. He worked on several suits which fought for desegregation of schools and the state's colleges and universities. One of those suits lasted more than 30 years until it was finally settled in 2001. Not long ago, I spoke to Barrett's legal partner of nearly 30 years. Calling himself the citizen, he said Barrett would represent anyone, win or lose, whose rights were being violated.
He used to brag that, in fact, he did represent the KKK because he firmly believed in the First Amendment. And even though the Klan stood for everything that he was opposed to, he understood that they had a right, just like everyone else, to make their voice heard.
Barrett died earlier this evening after a 2-week battle with pancreatitis. Guys, there's no word just yet on funeral arrangements.
All right, Todd, thank you.
Well, tonight we do know that leaders throughout Nashville are remembering George Barrett.
Mayor Carl Dean released a statement this evening. He says George Barrett was larger than life and always willing to take up an unpopular cause if he felt it was the right thing to do. He was a social justice champion and was certainly on the right side of history as an attorney advocate during the civil rights movement. He was beloved by many friends and respected by his adversaries. He will be deeply missed.
Tennessee Board of Regents Chancellor John G. Morgan also weighing in on the passing of Barrett tonight. He says, quote, "Our friend, the citizen George Barrett, was an incredible force for good in many ways. His work on behalf of students and higher education ensured access and opportunity are available to every Tennessean. All of us who are honored to know him are better off for it." And I should point out I had the pleasure to sit down and interview Barrett just a few months ago when his longtime friend John Siegenthaler passed away. The two met while they were freshmen at Father Ryan High School. Barrett's work ethic on behalf of the underprivileged, absolutely legendary. As we mentioned, he was working right up until 2 weeks ago when he went into the hospital. Among other things, as Todd mentioned, he fought to end segregation in schools. Most recently, he fought against the voter ID law here in Tennessee, and he was also defending investors in some large cases, against security firms on Wall Street. So unbelievable.
Yeah, truly just an amazing legacy to leave behind. A lot of people will remember him. He'll be missed by so many. And you're seeing some of that response already tonight on social media. People are leaving comments and condolences on our News Channel 5 Facebook page. They're also sending out tweets about him and sharing memories. So you can join in and do that as well. And also stay with News Channel 5 on air and online for the latest on memorial plans or funeral arrangements for George Barrett.